Okay, on Friday in class we took the quiz and we didn't have time to go over the next layer, section 4.5. Now we will be multiplying or distributing a term with a variable into a polynomial with variables also. And now that we know how to deal with exponents, this should be easy to do. So number 14 on your notebook paper handout, simply multiply each term in the parentheses by the 4x on the outside. So 4x times 2x squared is 8x cubed. Applying the properties of exponents, when the bases are the same, you add the powers. Next up, I have 4x on the outside times negative x. So that it's still a negative sign in between, and it becomes minus 4x squared. X times x is x squared. And now I have 4x times negative 5, which is simply negative 20x. Distribute, and then analyze what you've got. If you have like terms, now you combine them. But since you have no like terms in this problem, you are finished. You have distributed the 4, and you can move on to the next problem. The next problem on your handout is number 18. This is fuzzy on the screen, but you can look at it on your notebook paper and follow along. I have 1/2 s to the second power with the t. In fact, I'm going to recopy that. It's so bad. Okay, so number by number, 1/2 times 1/4 is 2, or I'm sorry, 1/2 times positive 4 is 2. 4 divided by 2 is 2. S squared times this term. Well, I do not have an s in this term, so s squared remains as it is. But t times t squared becomes t cubed. Moving on to the next term, 1/2 times negative 10 is negative 5. S squared times s becomes s cubed, and t times t becomes t squared. Next up, 1/2 times positive 6 becomes 3. S squared times s squared is s to the 4th power. T, well, I don't have a t in this term, so the t out here remains as it is, t to the 1st power. Then you analyze for like terms. You don't have any like terms, so this is as simplified as it can get when I distribute 1/2 s squared t into this trinomial. Number 26, I have more things here in this polynomial, so you may not be sure exactly where you start. Scan and come to the innermost portion of the polynomial, and that would take you right here. So let's distribute the negative 2 to the 3 plus x. So just simply recopy 2x, open up a bracket, recopy 3x, and now let's use the distributive property. Negative 2 times 3 minus 6. Negative 2 times positive x minus 2x. Close the bracket and then just simply recopy the minus x squared. Inside the bracket, combine like terms. Recopy 2x again, and you can make the bracket a parenthesis now. It really doesn't matter. It's just a grouping symbol. 3x minus 2x leaves me with 1x, and then minus 6 just gets recopied, and then minus x squared just gets recopied. Now it's time to distribute 2x to the quantity x minus 6. So 2x times x, 2x times negative 6, and then the minus x squared gets recopied. Now I have an expression without grouping symbols. I've eliminated everything in proper order, so now you analyze for like terms. 2x squared minus x squared, combining their coefficients of positive 2 and negative 1, leaves me with just positive 1, but you would simply write it like this, x squared minus 12. Number 38 on page 160, you are now solving for an x value. So once again, scan across. I would come into the brackets and I would deal with this first. So just simply recopy. And it would be okay to go ahead and distribute the 2x in here, but just to be systematic with it, I'm going to recopy it and deal with this. I'm recopying the 5, and I will have negative 2x times positive 1, and negative 2x times negative x, which gives me a positive 2x squared. And close your bracket. Analyze what's in the bracket for like terms. You don't have any like terms, so then scooting over here, you can remove the brackets, but then each term inside without a bracket will take the opposite sign because I'm subtracting everything. So go back to the beginning. Let's recopy the 1. And at this point, I think it's safe to go ahead and distribute the 2x to x minus 2. So 2x times x, and then 2x times negative 2. Taking care of that. Now I'm going to remove the brackets, and since 5 is positive in the bracket, it will become negative without the bracket. This is negative inside the bracket, but it's minus a negative, so it becomes plus 2x. This is a plus 2x squared inside the bracket, but when I remove it with the negative sign, it becomes this. Analyze for like terms, and you can see 2x squared and negative 2x squared. So the two squared terms will eliminate, combining negative 4x and positive 2x. So let's recopy the 1, negative 4x and positive 2x, negative 2x, and then minus 5. And now you have a simple equation which is easy for you to solve. If we add 5 to both sides, positive 6 equals negative 2x, multiply both sides by negative 1/2, and negative 3 equaling x. That is your answer.